years ago, I gave birth to my daughter, and it was undoubtedly the best thing that ever happened in my life. While others might see childbirth as something ordinary, for me it was an extraordinary, unforgettable journey filled with challenges, excitement, and resilience and love. I still remember the day I found out I was pregnant. It was a moment of joy and nervousness all rolled into one. From that very moment, I vowed to take the best care of myself and my baby. I threw myself into learning everything that I could about maintaining a healthy pregnancy, from the right foods to eat, to exercises that would keep me strong. But the journey was not as easy as what I thought. For the first 5 months, I had relentless vomiting, and the nausea and food aversions lingered throughout my entire pregnancy. The first 3 months were particularly difficult, as I was in the UAE at that time. My husband would go to work in the morning and he would return all night, leaving me alone for almost 12 hours each day. Those lonely hours were the hardest. My symptoms were at the peak, and I had to navigate everything on my own. But yet I stayed determined and active, pushing through each day despite the discomfort. On May 18, 2020, just 2 days before my due date, I was admitted to the hospital. My doctors assured me that I would likely to deliver the day or the next. As evening turned to night, I was taken to the labor room. I still remember the day I was fed for the last time before the delivery process began. And in the early hours of the next day, my contraction started, and it started slowly and lasted only for a few minutes, and my cervix got dilated to 5 centimeters. By noon, my amniotic fluid got ruptured, and my pain became so overwhelming. The contractions were longer, and the intensity was that anything that I had ever imagined. My back felt like it is being torn apart, and the pain was so overwhelming that I genuinely felt I may not survive. Hours passed, and I finally reached 10 centimeters of dilation, but my baby wasn't coming. I pushed and pushed with every ounce of strength that I had, but nothing worked. The doctors told me that my baby's head is slightly larger, making delivery a little difficult. From that moment, every second even felt like an hour for me. At one point, the doctors even suggested that if the baby doesn't arrive soon, they would have to perform a C-section. I vividly remember the doctors informing my mom that they would wait until 6 p.m. And those words left me utterly shocked. Like I feel crushed. I had spent my entire pregnancy preparing for a natural delivery, exercising, staying active, and praying. The thought of a C-section felt like a defeat for me, and I broke down. My throat was parched, and I begged for water, but my doctors refused. They felt that complications would arise if surgery was necessary. That day, I really understood what thirst felt like. Despite fasting every year, I had never felt such an unbearable longing for just a drop of water. As the clock ticked closer to the deadline, I begged the doctors to wait just a little longer, as my baby was still healthy. After a while, I was utterly exhausted and my body refusing to cooperate any longer. And at the final hours, the doctors resorted to using vacuum extractor. And at 9 p.m., after 24 grueling hours of labor, I finally brought my baby girl into the world. I didn't even realize that I had given birth until the doctor announced that it's a baby girl. I was too exhausted to process the moment, but the tears that rolled down my cheeks were a mix of relief, gratitude, and overwhelming love. Even now, 4 years later, that day is a mix of nightmare and happiness for me. The physical pain is indescribable, but the joy of holding my baby girl made it all worth it. Um, she is my greatest blessing, and every time I look at her, she reminded of the strength I never knew that I had.